And welcome to another edition of South Texas Crossfire. This is attorney Joe Flores reminding you to join us each and every week right here on KTMB with the Lopez family. Special thanks to Don Humberto Lopez. He is in the hospital right now. He is in our prayers and we wish him the very best. And also my good friend Carlos Lopez, the Ted Turner of South Texas Broadcasting, who makes it possible, and he brings us out on radio and television. Without him, we can't get that political voice out there. So thank you very much to all the Lopez family. With me today, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing Todd Hunter from District 32, also known as Theo Todd, to our community over here. And we're going to be talking about a big issue that a lot of people are like, on, and it's called redistricting. Welcome, Todd. How are you?
It's good to see you, my friend.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on. We always have a great time when you come on. I've always wanted to put you and Ugo in the same room. I'm starting to think that you guys are the same person. I never see you in the same room.
Well, as you said, you call him the Dick Clark.
Ageless.
South Texas.
Ageless, Ugo. Ageless. I mean, wow, Camay and hair gel. I don't know. But anyway, I mean, everybody was, I mean, you were right in the middle of it, right in the thick of it, with the redistricting thing. But before we jump in there, I just want our audience to remind our audience who you represent, what you do, your family, your background, the works. A little brief on that.
Sure. The District 32 is really our only local state representative district that has 4 counties. That district has Calhoun County, which is Port Lavaca, Seadrift, Port O'Connor, Livia up there. And you also have San Patricio County. All of San Patricio is in it.
Yes.
And then we have Aransas County, Rockport, Fulton, the Lamar Peninsula. And then Nueces, I have what we call the coastal portion. And this is what's symbolic of the redistricting issue. My district is all south side. If you start on Ocean Drive in Alameda at Airline, you go south, I take the Naval Base in, I take the Texas A&M University. But then here shows you about called gerrymandering. As you go on SPID and Flower Bluff, the water side's in, but the HEB side of Flower Bluff is not. You continue out, I grab Port Aransas, I grab Padre Island, I swing back and get a little bit of Chapman Ranch, I get part of King's Crossing, the King Crossing area, but not the King Estates area. It goes into some of those neighborhoods, pulls in a few streets in the lakes, swings back in, comes all the way back into Fayro, but only takes the water side of Nile in, not the other side. It swings all the way back to Airline, and then I get North Beach.
Oh, wow. Okay, so when we're talking about redistricting, I mean, it's down to like blocks matter,
exactly,
you know,
blocks.
A street, you know, I mean, it's so important. Now you're also the lead partner along with Mr.
Rod
Handel. Oh, Rod, great guy.
Now he needs Hugo's hair.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. But now he's kind of like going for the bald thing going.
Well,
I like
that's
it.
true.
A Vin Diesel sort of look.
There you go.
Yeah. Boy, we've been talking about hair a lot, and we've only been in 5 minutes in the shoot. But seriously, now you've got that law practice, and you took a break for a little while because a lot of people don't know that we're lucky to have you in there because you've got some seniority.
That's right.
And tell us a little bit about that, why you took a break in your political career.
I ran the first time in '88, and I served from 1989 to 1997, 8 years. And when I was there, you had Hugo Berlanga was the Speaker Pro Tem. Irma Rangel was the chairman of higher education.
Fantastic people.
A lot of folks remember Ernestine Glossbrenner, who was
from
Alice,
my hometown.
She was there, basically ran kind of the public education side. Eddie Cavazos had the insurance committee. And so during those 8 years I served, in '97 was my last term, and I took a break really for 11 years. My children were 1 and 2 when I went into office.
Oh, wow.
And so they got involved into athletics and the things like that, into school. So I decided you can always run for office, but you can't always be home.
That's right, with your family.
So I went back and practiced law, and then, as you know, because we talked during the campaign, in 2008 I ran again after that 11-year break, because the kids were older and most of them were in school. And everybody agreed, so I came back and we won. And my district is basically very similar to what I had back in 1989-97. I didn't have San Patricio. I had another county back then, but it was basically the same area. So it was a good transition. I went back into office. We started in 2009. The seniority does help. Don't necessarily like that you have to have seniority, but as you and I know in politics, be it in Washington or in Austin, it does make a difference. And so the seniority did help because I became a chairman, which brings a lot of help to the area. And then I got involved in the insurance, which we dealt with. You and I did a show on the
windstorm and all that.
Absolutely. So it helped, and we did that, and the delegation team worked together, and we finished up there about June 1st of '09, and then we've been working the district, which is my 4 counties. And during that time, I got appointed to the special committee on transportation funding, which is very, very good for our area because we get input into the funding of our transportation needs in here, which is important for our entire coastal bend area. And then they have a setup on redistricting. You have the redistricting committee and my committee called Judiciary Civil Jurisprudence, where we're holding public hearings jointly to allow the public to have input. And so these are some of the things that have been going on. So I practice law, and I am a state representative. And just to let everybody know, they only pay $600 a month minus taxes. You don't do it for the money, and you shouldn't pay any more for being a state representative.
Well, I appreciate you kind of laying the groundwork there because you know, those committees and what you're doing for the community, people need to know that. A lot of time people have an idea of a state rep as, oh, he's a gentleman or a lady in Austin, but we don't really know what they do.
Absolutely.
And you know, you've talked about the transportation, you have a hand in the insurance deal. Now, let's talk about the redistricting a little bit. And I know that there were public meetings held here and in the Valley, and a lot of people were concerned and said, is it just really the number of people that have grown? And I'm going to get into maybe your take on why it is that, particularly here in Nueces County, we've not as grown as fast as the Valley. And but also there's just not a numbers issue. It can get quite litigious where people are saying, hey, it's not just numbers, it's also ethnicity and things like that. But people out there are like, well, what is redistricting? Right. What is it?
And you're right, as we started the show, it's kind of a boring title, but it's very impacting. Here's what redistricting is in the state of Texas, we do not have a commission. In other words, there's not an agency or a commission that does it. A lot of states, they have a commission that does it. In our state, it is done by the legislative process, not by Washington, D.C., but in Austin, Texas. So the state does redistricting. What is it? Every 10 years, the census is taken. Based on numbers, your population, that determines how many U.S. congressmen you get. Now let's take U.S. congressmen for a second. Texas, so everybody knows, is going to be the #2 most populated state in the United States, next to California. But since our growth is so large, we're going to gain congressmen. The Congress is already set. So you don't increase the numbers, you don't decrease, you take. So Texas increases in the population, and we take from the states that have not grown.
Correct.
And so we will get 3 to 4 new U.S. congressmen for the state of Texas. So Texas will be the largest gainer. The other thing the census does is we decide state representatives, state senators, and a lot of people don't know, state board of education. And we decide the boundaries. And so we want a fair process, we want a legal process, but there's no doubt, throughout the years, that you do get politics that play in that.